Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Wolf, and I'm casting a game between myself, the Green Protoss, and my opponent, DoomDash, the Red Terran. And this is StarCraft 2 Brood War, so as you know, it started off with 4 workers. There's only 1 Vespene geyser, there's 10 mineral fields, I think. 9. I haven't played that much Brood War, so DoomDash doesn't remember his Brood War very well. He's actually, Terran is his worst Brood War race, which is kind of funny, because Terran is the race he plays in StarCraft 2. And Protoss, when I first played Brood War, I played Zerg, and I lost my first game, which he went Mass Zealot. And I'm like, how do you beat that? Raven's like, get Hydras. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I mixed it up in a different Brood War game I played this day. I decided to get Zealots to fight his Hydralists, which I forgot was the opposite of what I should do. So I guess I made a mistake there. Whatever. Zealots something. Oh yeah, so I lost my first game. Second game I won. I had good upgrades, and I took advantage of the AI kinda. It was fun. I chose Protoss in the end though because I liked them the most aesthetically, and I always liked the idea of more powerful units. It makes them easier to control, and I just I don't like swarming as much as I like. I don't mind swarming with Protoss, but I still prefer to have units do their thing as Protoss. So whatever, I don't have to justify myself to you guys. I can just like Protoss to like Protoss. And if you guys notice, the buildings are kind of uniquely placed. They're 2x4s. This is a 2x4 here. I think it's pretty cool how they resized the buildings. The Nexus looks like a little baby. So this is my first Brood War game I ever played in StarCraft 2. And I felt really good about this game while I was playing it. I have to say it gave me some good insight on how to play Protoss differently. When I first played StarCraft 2, I played Zerg first, and I was pretty good with it. I'm still probably about as good with Zerg. If I practiced, I'd be way better with Zerg. Zerg is just easy for me. So I kind of play Protoss generally very Zerg-like, where I just macro a shit ton of units and kind of just swarm over them, which I don't like to do. And then I can play the Protoss way, but I don't play Protoss to the Protoss way as well as I play as Zerg. And so this game I feel like I kind of played a Terran way, and I'll kind of go into details as the game goes on. Obviously it doesn't look very Terran-y right now, because everything's warping in. So Doom goes for a factory. Let's get that D up. I always forget to the D up. I love Brood War. This game, I played 2 Brood War games this day, and I really enjoyed them a lot more than playing StarCraft 2. I hope it gave me a lot of good ideas for playing StarCraft 2. I hope I'm able to use them. I really like Dragoons, not because I am familiar with them, but they feel more solid to me than Stalkers. And the damage concept in Brood War, especially because it's explained down here all nice and okay. I guess Marines are just overpowered. Let's see if I can find a good example. I guess all starting units just do the same damage to everything. So if you guys notice when the Dragoon comes out, which I guess it'll be a while, there's a +2 for Dragoons. I always get upgrades like that for most units. Yeah, like the +1 range for Hydralists, that's what they are. I always like to get those upgrades because they actually make the unit really effective. So now I'm using the Zealots here, and I think they're fast. They're the same speed, but something about them while playing Brood War, it's like I'm able to micro better. I felt like I was able to control them better. I don't kill this SCV, he gets away, but something about playing this game, the Zealots feel a lot more effective. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe it's just their opposition's not as good. Here I got the first Dragoon out. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. If you don't know, I'm sure a lot of you do know exactly what I'm talking about. There's the machine shop. Kind of wondered what that was for. I guess that's what it's for. You can't make anything but vultures. Armory, okay. I don't know very much about tech paths in this game. You see the Dragoon here, 20 damage to every unit in the game. Unless it's a medium unit, then it does only 15. If it's a small unit, it only does 10. And so if it falls into those categories, it won't do as much damage. Dragoon is pretty good against units that kind of specialize against lighter units but are larger themselves. Things like the tank that does 75 damage. It's different in this game. It's just a completely different unit. It does 75 damage though. It just eats them up. But these vultures who, let's see, they only do 5 damage to large with their attacks. I think Dragons are medium. No, they're large. Okay, so I mean these vultures only do 5 damage to them, but the Dragon's going to do 15. So you can see the advantages there. I didn't know Doom was doing anything. I actually didn't know where he was. Right now, I'm actually going to go scout him, and I decided to kind of fast expand. I saw a buildup of minerals, and I felt to myself like I have too much gas at this point, not enough minerals, so I'll expand and grab some minerals. And so this time, I'm going to go check him out. I decided to keep my zealots back, like right now, use the force. Go back, stupid zealots. There's a swimming fish in the air. And I send the zealots back. I just decided to do a little bit of like poking around. Hopefully I can do some damage with a couple of dragoons. You guys know what I'm talking about with like stalkers. That was my mindset. Kind of poking there. Hopefully I could just shoot a little something. And so he's got 5 of his vultures coming this way. And let's see, they do 20 damage to these light zealots. So they don't have a chance. There's just 2 on 5. They can micro them. I just felt better though when I was playing with these zealots. There's like he drove into the zealots' attacks, but I mean my micro of the zealots definitely bought me time to try to get the dragoons back and get 2 more up here. So I have the 2 dragoons on the high ground, and I didn't know how this worked exactly. They all missed that first shot there. There was a 50% chance that they hit when they're on high ground. I read that later, so he's kind of down here, letting me get my units back up. Once I get all 6 dragoons over here, I should be okay. Leaving some spider mines. They can't do anything to buildings, I think. I mean, they don't. I'll let you guys know. They don't. And so I got 2 dragoons here. They're completely boned. Poor dragoons. So I have 4 dragoons. They're destroying my poor mineral line. I feel sorry for all the probes. I think it's interesting. These spider mines don't move up when the probes fly over them. I don't know what's up with that. Is that just how they worked? Because I don't think so. I think that the spider mines kind of glitched in this game, which is too bad because it's not really fair. But then again, DoomDash is a master Terran, and I'm only a platinum Protoss with a laggy computer. That over time will probably hit like 1 frames per second. It's at 10 right now. So he's got his 5 spider mines down here. I have no army. I only have 4 dragoons, 6 dragoons now, plus 2 range, speed zealots, which I always love that upgrade. I think from now on when I play StarCraft 2, I'm not actually going to. I'm going to see if I think in options I can turn off charge autocast automatically. And so from now on, I'm going to open up with 5 gateways. I'm not going to research warp unless the game goes on for an extended period. I'm going to research charge and blink and turn off auto charge. So I just have faster zealots. And then I'm also going to use blink as like the +2 range with dragoons. So I'm going to see if I can do that. So I think right now I'm kind of behind. I need to check if he's got an expansion because right now I have an expand. And so in a way we're kind of even. If he pushed, he could beat me right now for sure. And this is horrible. I feel really bad about this. I think I Q attacked. Q clicked. I didn't T click. Yeah, see, I told him to move over here, and if I told him to A click, I think I would have been able to deal with this okay. I would have had to back up, but I mean, look at this. This is just, it's horrible. It makes me cry. And so I'm like, yes, take down that 1 vulture, and then no, just run away. At least I saved 1 dragoon, but that definitely wasn't good. That was horrible. I like how he just leaves it alone with 7 HP. He could have totally killed it. So now if he pushes, he'd beat me, for sure. I only have 4 dragoons on the way. They're not done. I have 3 alive. So I might have been able to hold it off if I got another volley in there. I do have Psionic Storm researching because the tech paths for Protoss and Brood War are a fair amount different for me. I don't know them at all. I've always felt very comfortable with gateway units, so I'm like, whatever. I get Dark Templar and High Templar in one package. I might as well do that. So I'm like, whatever. Just get Psionic Storm and maybe I'll use it. So I had so much excess gas. Now I'm kind of back where I want to be. Going to warp in some zealots, I'm sure. Yeah, there they are. And as soon as he did the damage to my mineral line, I just moved him off, and then I started making more probes. So, and see, this is kind of weird to me. Either the spider mines are glitching, or they just don't affect probes that are mining. Like I think if I just moved it, it would die. But at this point, you can see there's 1 probe's going to come out. I meant to put him in the gas, so there. So, I guess yeah, that should have blown up there if they blow up against workers. So he's got a really defensive position here. Definitely would just bone the shit out of me. And I feel like I'm behind. I know what he's going to do. He's got Siege Tanks and Spider Mines, so I decided to catch him out of position. And I love this. This is how I'm going to start playing StarCraft 2. I'm not going to make anything but like Zealots and Stalkers. I'm not going to make Sentries. I hate those units. I'm tired of their shit. And I'm just going to, use Observers and Dark Templar to kind of catch him out of position, see if I can kind of make just a more fun game for me, because StarCraft 2 is just, for Protoss, it's dumb. Protoss is a dumb race right now. But I love playing this Brood War thing. He loves Goliaths too, so he went Goliaths and Vultures, and I kind of foresaw doing that. Needed more Marines because he knows I have trouble with Marines. So my army down here is quote unquote out of position. It's designed to kind of flank a sieged up. As soon as he unsieges, I'm kind of intending for him to run into this one Dark Templar, scan, kill it, and then I'll have some more reinforcements on it. There should be 4. Yeah, I'm making 4 right now. I'm macroing very well. I'm very proud of myself. And so I'm kind of expecting him to go up there, siege up, and then I start killing him. He's going to scan, kill it, and then I'll move the other 4 down there. He almost sees me. That was really close. If he had seen me, I could have been in a lot of trouble. And I think this is kind of funny that Terran detection isn't as good as it is in StarCraft 2. He can't detect me at all. He has spider mines that can kill this Dark Templar, but at this time I'm just, letting my Dark Templar go out. I'm like, oh, that Dark Templar is so screwed, he's going to scan any second now. Because I don't know how it works, but after hearing what he said, you have to build like an academy and then something, and I don't know why that blew up. I don't know how I detected it, so it's kind of weird. I think the spider mines are kind of broken right now, and this is when he needs to get out of there because I've got 4 Dark Templar coming in there, and I guess he sees the things, or he just knows he's getting destroyed right now, so he backs up. This is it. This is like the part where I came so hard. It's a trap. And I just catch his routing units out of position, and I completely destroy his tanks. It made me so happy. I can't explain to you how happy this made me feel. With that, I was catching a master Terran player, who Terran is his worst race. His spider mines are kind of buggy, but I caught a master Terran out of position like that, and it just made me so happy. And so now he's got so many spider mines, so he's got a heavy defense. Fortunately, I've got shields, and shields work a little differently in Brood War. They slowly regenerate all the time, like Zerg health does, but they only have half as much. And so right here, I realize I'm in a lot of trouble. I back up my Dragoons. I let the Dark Templar swarm in front. And I actually use my hotkeys really well this game. I mean, you can't walk Dragoons into a siege line or they will die. There's no doubt about that. I mean, look what it just did. 75 damage. It just blows them up. And so here's the academy. He actually needs the academy. And then once he has it, he can get the add-on. Yeah, right there. Comsat station. So you can use a scanner sweep. And I think that detects. I'm almost sure it does. But, I can't guarantee I know what I'm talking about. And so right now I've got my Dark Templar out here, and I just like destroy the base, and I'm like, no wait, a good player destroys the SCVs, and I don't know what he's doing. He just kind of moves them up there, I guess to slow me down or something. He's macroing up about as well as I am. I got way too many minerals, so I guess when these Dark Templar are done, I'll probably be warping in some more zealots. I felt so good at this point in the game. I mean, he's not a Zerg player. Against a Zerg player, I might be able to fight like another. Like, oh, an entire army again. I'm like, shit. Oh, this is so cool. Poor Dragoons. I just, after playing this game, I felt like Dragoons were way cooler than Stalkers. Although their DPS, I read, is pretty close to similar. So I gotta break in there. I gotta breach Helm Hammerhand. I think this is so funny. He can't see the Dark Templar, but their shields are actually keeping them safe right now. And so I didn't notice. I knew he was like shooting the area, but it didn't occur to me that he was shooting his own supply depot. So right now, I'm like, I got to break through supply depot faster, and he actually helps me with that because he's focus firing this. If he wasn't focus firing the supply depot, he would have been able to keep repairing it and then eventually destroy all my Dragoons. And so now my Dark Templar are up there wreaking havoc. He's making a starport. I don't even know what that's for. I don't think he can make detection out of it. I don't know what's up with that. And there goes like a real spider mine. It completely obliterates that. Ooh, Dark Archon. That's cool. I'll never make Dark Archons, though. I don't like High Templar and Brood Wars much because they do require a lot more control and everything. They're not just a storming unit. They actually are a unit that you have to do stuff with. Let's see here. Valkyrie, Wraith, Control Tower, Dropship, Science Vessel. Science Vessel's attack, so that's what he was going for. And I knew that as soon as I saw him making a different tech structure, I needed to take it out, so I just went straight for it, except for my Dragoons are retarded. And I'm so happy about this game because I got him in the corner right now. I'm macroing up okay, well for a platinum player who doesn't play as much as he should. But this game sucks for Protoss. So, and I mean, I've destroyed his mineral lines, and he's destroyed them with me. He's got lots of guys just hanging out there. He just have a build up, and then right here I'm like, oh shit. I mean, this is when my brain really clicked. I'm like, I cannot walk into a siege line with Dragoons. I'll get completely destroyed. And this is pretty funny. I try to click this Dark Templar right here because I don't have a control group for him anymore. I'm like, damn it, double click him. And I couldn't double click the damn Dark Templar, and I finally get him right there, I guess. There, so, and I control group him. His mines get me, but unfortunately for him, one gets through, and that's all I needed was that one to get through to do 43 damage. And I'm staying on top of my upgrades too. I didn't talk about that, but I got 2 forges going crazy. And this is it. I'm like, you know what, that Dark Templar's dealing with that. I'm just going to go in and hopefully win. I know he's not really macroing up an army anymore. My dragons are doing their job. And so at this time I'm like having orgasms. I'm like, this is the best game ever. This is way better than StarCraft 2 where I have to play the Colossus craft. And I think that's the GG there. I hope so. I think I won. I'm going to just say this a couple times. DoomDash is a good guy. He's not afraid of anything, however that thing goes. He's a cool guy, and he's a good player, and he's a master Terran player. So I'm just going to say this once. I beat you, Doom, and it made me come a lot like I have blue balls now. You guys are like, this is good. I'm glad to know this shit. Thanks for playing this with me. I'm going to say this once. Haha, I beat you, and good game. Good game for that. Thank you.